This is a story about our family. I'm John, and this is my wife, Leanna. We met in 2004. 3 years later, we went on a date, and a few short months after that, we were married and got on our way to happily ever after. Just like other stories of boy meets girl, we found out there was a baby on the way, and we had Zanara. Soon after our oldest daughter was born, we even found her doppelganger. And though she has special needs, we were happy when we could all go on adventures. Soon we found out how to make her smile and help her have fun. And we were beyond thrilled when we found out that she could laugh. She took after her parents, and she was good at traveling, and even going to parties and getting dressed up. As parents, we discovered tricks to help us keep her calm, and we got her surgeries to help keep her healthy. And we even found some pretty untraditional ways of keeping her safe. Diaper boxing gloves for the win, thank you very much. And we love our cutie. But the family story doesn't end there. Zanara found out she was going to be a big sister. Leanna, the stunning woman she is, started growing another beautiful baby girl. And we were all so excited to welcome Zane into the world. Our family was now 3 beautiful girls and 1 weird guy. That's me. Zane is also cutie and is goofy just like the rest of her family. And just like her big sister, it didn't take long before we found her doppelganger. And also, like her big sister, Zane was a traveling girl from the get-go. She was barely a month old when she took her first trip across the Pacific Ocean. Her first trip to the mainland involved friends, family, a wedding, and wine country. But don't worry, the little girls weren't drinking. Zane is growing and definitely has her own personality.
Pick up! Have the sense to fade away the shake up! Why'd you leave the keys up on the table? Here you go, create another fable! You wanted to! Grab a brush and put a little makeup! You wanted to!
She is exciting, loving, and protective of her big sister, as well as supportive, regardless of the situation. But like I mentioned before, the story doesn't end here either. Leanna is preggers again. Another little girl is on the way. And she has a head start on her older sisters in at least one regard, though. Even before she is born, we have already found her doppelganger. In all seriousness, though, we don't really know what she's going to look like yet. But it is likely she might look like this. Or maybe even this. You see, we found out that our newest little girl that we will be blessed with is also going to be special, and she has Down syndrome. This is an ultrasound Leanna recently had on Oahu, showing off the newest addition to our family, but also getting some information from the doctor on what to expect. Please listen closely now.
Dr. Mathis ran that blood test for you?
Yes. Because I'm old.
Older. Thank you. Older than you were before.
Yes.
So that blood test actually is designed to detect Down syndrome.
Right.
It actually is very good in the negative sense. If you have a negative blood test, then you don't have to worry. The likelihood of being a baby with Down syndrome is like less than 1 in 10,000. It's pretty darn low. If it's positive, then you still have to confirm it, because there are conditions where the placenta, see the genetics, the DNA comes mostly from the placenta.
Right.
So you can have a placental problem, but not a fetal problem.
Right.
I have to tell you though that there is fluid behind the neck.
I think I see it.
This is strongly suggestive that maybe the baby is affected by Down syndrome. Then you have to worry about not only Down syndrome but heart defects.
Right. That's most common.
Well, that's the one that will make it serious for the baby. Looks like they actually. There's a relatively high intrauterine lethality rate with Down syndrome too. About 1/3 will pass before you get to term.
Mm.
So, I mean, in general, all chromosome problems have a high risk of miscarriage.
Right.
It's higher for certain types of chromosome problems. Like, Down syndrome is 33%, but if you go to trisomy 13 or trisomy 18,
Mm-hmm.
then it's 70% or more.
Wow. It's kind of weird if you carried the term. I don't know.
Yeah, if you think about it, another way is for Down syndrome, of all the chromosome problems, that's actually probably the more milder
Right.
because that's the one that can survive.
Right.
If you have another chromosome problem, usually they miscarry.
Right.
Might, naturally miscarry. It
Right.
doesn't look like it's very vigorous.
Yeah.
It might even get worse, the back of the neck measurement.
Mm-hmm. If the back of the neck measurement gets worse, what does that mean? Just worse
Well,
Down
if it,
syndrome or just worse?
no, it doesn't have anything to do with the degree of mental capacity. It just has to do with associated anomalies because the nucleocystic hygromas, they get worse, tend to also be the ones that have heart defects and they have a higher risk of miscarriage. Yeah.
Mm.
The thicker it is, by the way, not only the higher risk of Down syndrome, but also the higher risk of loss.
Mm.
It does correlate with loss.
With all this in mind, the biggest question we anticipate getting is what are we to expect with a new one on the way? The answer is, we don't really know yet. Only God knows at this point, and the rest of us just need to be patient and wait to see what our newest little princess will be like. Down syndrome doesn't have a blanket of effects on everyone, and it's quite unique to each person. And in the meantime, we are preparing as best as we can, and we look forward to your support. No one can do anything on their own, and as we get geared up for our unknown future, we appreciate you respecting our unique situation, allowing us some time to process this as well. The good news is, if everything goes well, then somewhere near July 16, 2016, you will be able to help us welcome our newest awesome addition to the family.